Hey, we're live. How exciting. Thank you so much for joining me. During this very strange time, I've been bringing along a different origami fold each week. And the idea is to do something that just really focuses your mind on something fun. Let's have a little break from whatever we're doing. These films are very much dedicated to my colleagues who work in a hospital in UCH. And I normally go and visit the wards and work with patients and staff, encouraging well-being. And I do that through offering origami. I've been offering many creative ideas actually, but the thing that's been most popular is origami. So it's a great way of just getting completely focused on what you can do with the simplest of materials. And today I'm bringing along, I think, something I'm really excited about anyway, which is to make a plane. I mean, it's the classic thing we've all done as children. And hello, Sarah. We've all done as children. And actually, I think is one of the best, because depending on how well you've done it, this will directly affect how well it flies as well. So this one is called a swallow plane, and I was actually taught this by someone who was a patient. So I visited the wards, and there was a gentleman I visited a couple of times, and he wasn't that interested in the origami, but he said, next time I'm gonna teach you, I want to teach you something that I've enjoyed folding, and it was this plane. So this is something he would have learnt as a child. It has a wonderful action. It sort of swoops around. So it's called swallow, and I would guess it's because it's like swallows that they will circle around and glide. So this is a brilliant glider. So I'm going to show you how to make this out of A4 paper, or if you're elsewhere in the world, it would be letter paper as well. So this will be the first one. The second, which I think will be a little bit more different, is this thing. It doesn't look like a plane, does it? And it's a sort of a round circular glider. And this was actually something I've been wanting to make for a long time. I've heard they're meant to be rather good. And I got this design, which is actually very simple to fold. This is from an activity from the NASA website. So on the video that I've pre-recorded, you can also go to a link there. So it's a really interesting one. No glue needed for either. And then afterwards, I want you to try them out. See which one flies the best, or even if there's other folds that you do that you find better, please share as well. So in a second, I'm going to move the computer around. Oh, Chavi, Jason Tara here. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Kerry, fantastic. And Stanford. Oh, brilliant. Thank you for joining us. This is definitely a good one for children, but you know what? All of these things are good for children and for adults. It's a good challenge. You'll focus your mind. So if you all make sure that you go and get a piece of paper, I'm going to move it around. I'm chatting for a little bit because it often takes people a little bit of time to get here. So it's nice just to have a bit of a preamble first of all. I'm going to move the computer around. And although I've been recording films, I rather like these ideas of live folds. I know I've really appreciated seeing people at this moment in time, to know that we're here together, and it's such a strange time, isn't it, being away from each other. So grab your paper. So any paper will do. Possibly A4, but it doesn't matter. Really, any paper will do. And I'm deliberately showing you each time using just normal paper that we'd all have at home. You don't need special paper for origami. So we'll start by making the swallow. And then, hello, Penny and Stephen. Thank you so much for joining. Fantastic. I think there's always a bit of a delay, but it's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for your messages and joining me. I hope you're going to enjoy this. I'm sure lots of you will know this, but it's just a lovely thing to do together. So we're going to make a swallow, and then we're going to make a circular plane. Then possibly I can try to show you how to fly them as well. It's always a bit of a risk. They'll either just plummet or they'll go really well. The circular one, the first one that I made, actually, it shot across the room, and I still haven't found it. It was that good, but they're not always that good, so you have to be very patient with yourself. So I'm going to grab my board. I find it rather useful to have a board. It's wonderful to have so many of you here today. Thank you for joining me. It makes a difference. Right, I'm going to position this over there, Excellent. Addiction warning. Yes. Wow. 54 years ago. I've been folding ever since. I agree. It's something that stays with us for life. And I think the most wonderful thing about origami is it's something that you learn and you pass on. So, in a good way, I know we obviously we've been thinking about transmission is a bad thing, but in this case, it's a wonderful thing. Spending time with people, passing it on, and we can even do it through a screen. That's pretty cool. And it will be something that you can do, you can pass on to your family, and will hopefully make some happy memories in this time as well. So I'm going to direct this down, just A4 piece of paper. So we're going to make the swallow. So our first step is take the corner and fold it over. So we're aiming towards that line. I hope this is I know I'm doing it quite an angle, but I'm presuming you're also keeping your paper flat. Now with origami, I always like to say, be very accurate. Enjoy taking your time. We've got lots of time, so we can use it to do things well. So I'm directing it over to that corner, and I'm giving it a good strong fold once I'm happy it's in the right place. Even if it's not in the right place, you can reposition it. That's the beauty of paper. And I give a good strong fold because that will give it strength. Also, it means that it's more likely to go well in all sorts of ways. It also allows a bit of pressure putting into there as well. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're basically going to make a cross at this end. Hope I've remembered this well. There we go. So it really is a piece of origami. One of my origami friends, David, he said he learnt this from a Rupert manual. So I reckon this is quite an old one, passed on from one to another. I always try and find out who has designed these things, but sometimes it's been designed so long ago that it's sort of got lost. But in a weird, wonderful way, that's what it's about. It's about you found something wonderful and you've been generous and kind enough to share it to others. So there we go. So hopefully, have you done your cross? Do shout if I'm going too fast. I try to go fairly slow because I want this to be enjoyable. So, and to keep you all along with me. I know sometimes people say, I can't do origami. Everyone can fold paper. You just have to be very kind and patient on yourself. So we're going to turn it over to the other side. Looks like a nice little tent. And what we'll do is we'll do a horizontal line through the middle. So to do this, sorry, moving it around, I'm going to fold it in the middle and aim towards the end of that cross. Did you see? So it's like this, and I'm folding it over. So origami is also known as paper engineering, and this really is a piece of engineering. How things fly. I'd love to see or hear of your planes as well. I've set up a Facebook group called Join the Fold, Origami to Beat Boredom. So if you're not on there already, do come and join and share any folds that you've done or films of them flying if you're feeling very brave. So our next step is you should just be able to put your finger, let's slightly move this up a bit, put your finger underneath the middle, push it, and it should pop up. Can you see? So it was down like that, and I put my finger underneath, pushed up, pops up, very satisfying way. And you should be able to just push in those sides and fold it up like so. Great. Oh, we're getting there. So this little corner at the top, I want you to bring it up there. So yeah, so the first time I've shown this, oh dear, slight tear there, never mind. These things happen. I'm not perfect. This swallow that I was taught by someone who was a patient, we made a few, and we had a go at flying them down the hospital corridor, and we were amazed. It kind of did a double swoop, and it brought many smiles. I don't think we ever grow out of these things. He was maybe in his 80s, and he seemed as happy as we did to see a plane flying. So take the corner and fold it up here again. So it should look like a square at the top. Hope you're following this, Tara. That's great. Marley and Courtney. Yay. Hope you've got your square. As I said, you are welcome to send a message if I'm going too fast, but I try to go fairly slow. All about patience. So our top corner here, if you then fold it down, so it's up here, and fold it down to that bottom part of the square. Again, I always find it a bit hard to, how do I say this in words? Because it's so visual. But actually, I'm afraid I've always found the diagrams very hard to understand. I don't know if you've tried and struggled. I've mostly learnt from people showing me and YouTube videos, actually, because I find it very hard to understand otherwise. So there are lots of brilliant videos. It's whatever you find works for you. So it should look like that now. What we're going to do next is sort of fold there and fold there. You will see. But if you take the side and if you fold it into, from Tara and Jason. Actually, I do 2 folds at once. So you're both doing them. Excellent. Then you can compare whose plane is the best. Whose is the most fun, probably. So we're going to take the side and then fold into a straight line, like so. So taking the side. And I hope while you're doing this, you forget everything else. It's a powerful tool. And I'm hoping too, in the amazing Welcome Trust building for staff and UCH, this is being offered as well. It's for my colleagues too. So from that top, the top of the square, I folded it there. Now do the same thing on the other side. I keep on putting it down because it's quite tough. A bit hard to do hovering in the air. That's it. I suppose the irony, making planes, and of course none of us are going on planes, which is a good thing for the environment. And the sky is so blue as a result now. That's it. So we'll do the same thing at the bottom. So if you open up those flaps, and again, folding this in a straight line, but from the bottom, I know it's quite thick by this point. That's why I'm needing myself to press down here on the surface. See my drawing board that I'm pressing on. This was a board which my daughter, when she was young, just would scribble on. But I rather like it now how it's worn. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Really thick now. But that weight and that strength will be great for the flying. Yeah, so hopefully it looks like that. And then again, if you open that up, what we're going to do next is these 2 folds here give a really nice shape. Can you see it's forming a nice triangle? I want you to grip that together, and you can close it up and then push that point up. Can you see where this is all very 3-dimensional, and this is a flat, isn't it, as a video? So it looked like this. I pinched the sides, I pushed it close, and then I pushed that up. So if you do the same thing on both, so both sides, again, you've got this little corner. You should be able to just squeeze and then fold, close it up, and push this up like so. Hope yours is looking like this. So our next step, we're getting there. This is so much more complex than the circular one, but a really beautiful, beautiful glider. It also really reminds me of the lovely red kites. We've got loads of red kites where we live, swooping around, so it will have a wonderful swoop to it. So our next step, turn it maybe to the other side. I simply want you to fold it down. Again, I didn't really have to aim at all. I just pushed it down, and it will naturally go in that particular line. There you go. So I hope that's worked for you. Jason, yes, you may be able to replay this video if you get lost. Yes, I've also pre-recorded one as well. So if you look through my videos, you'll see there's already one for planes, which may be clearer because it's always a little bit different when it's live. So if we turn it over, next we're going to make a tail. So to do that, yeah, thanks for helping, Esporopo. Yes, each other is nice. So if we take the bottom and fold it up to this line here, like so. So it was like this, and I folded it up so it's all in line here. Now again, actually, especially for here, give it a really good strong fold once it's in place. Oh, it's David. It's David, sorry. Yeah, I keep on not recognising you. Thank you, David. So this is the one from your Rupert Bear manual. I wonder how old this plane is. I wonder where it came from. Oh, it's always good to go under a disguise, isn't it? Not really. So we're going to get rid of this little strip here. You could use scissors. I'm fairly confident I've done a good, she says, famous last words, I've done a good strong fold, so should actually be able to just tear this off. So if you very carefully do a tiny tear at the start of your piece there, you should be able to tear it off. I think that works well. I've been going for absolute basics, normal A4 paper and tearing as well. So this little strip, if you take that, we'll show you how to make the tail. It's very simple, this step. All you're doing now is just folding it simply in half. So it's lengthwise and folding it in half, one side to meet the other. You could also decorate these planes as well, because if you're doing at all a family plane challenge, then you want to make sure you know whose is who, don't you? Yeah, great. So one more step for the tail. If you take the bottom of it and actually there's no bottom, the top and the end is exactly the same, but this will become the sort of base of it. So if you take the edge and fold it into the middle, like so. So it was like that. And I folded it to the middle, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. And again, the beauty of this is this is all without glue, which is wonderful if that's possible. Mostly I try not to. That's it. So it should be like that. Okay, we're almost there. So back to our plane. And this is going to be the top of our glider. So if you simply just fold it in half, get those wings up. Bit of a crease there. And then we're going to bring the wings down. At the moment it would fly in a very odd way. So we need to get those wings out at the sideways. So we're going to fold it down, slight angle, but not much of an angle. I'm going to fold it sort of from there down to there. So let me see, maybe something like that. Can you see? So I folded it. Actually, that's pretty much in line, isn't it? That'll be fine. Good strong fold. And then on the other side, you want it to match. So it's fairly easy just to take the side and fold it down so it matches the other side. Hope you're all keeping up. That's it. There we go. Looking good. Right. You can add a further little nifty move here for your plane. So the edge here you could slightly fold up so there's an edge to it like that. Yay. And the same on the other side. We're almost there. We've almost made our plane. I'll show you how to fly them both at the end. Yeah. So it's like this. And all we need to do now is get the tail in there. So if you actually turn it the other way up your plane. So this is the underneath of it. And this is the tail that we'd already made. If you turn that, so it's going to go in this way, and it should very neatly slot in there. push it in there. And I guess that extra little bit of folding will probably hold it in that bit tighter. Yeah, it's all about materials and forces and understanding. I love it. This is really a piece of science as well. So turn it over. So you should have one of these. I hope your swallow glider has worked. I'm at the same time going to show you this circular plane because I think that's rather fun as well. It's actually a very simple plane to make, and then it'll be an interesting one to be able to compare. But I hope your glider's worked. I think that's fairly happy with that. We'll have to find out how well it works. So our next step, we're now going to make our circular glider. Getting another piece of paper. So again, I've got, in this case, an A4 piece of paper. Right, I'm going to direct the camera down again. Here we go. So I think actually, in terms of matching sort of size, I felt actually it was better to do a half an A4. So if you simply take your A4 and fold it in half, I hope you've got a second piece of paper. Again, I do get it accurate, good strong fold. This is just to make a smaller piece of paper. That's all we're doing here. Fold it nice and sharp. And then again, you should be able to tear this quite easily. Again, a little tiny tear, quite satisfying. Great. So the site where I learnt this from is a NASA activity. I think they use letter paper, which is slightly different dimensions. I tried making it with this size of paper. It wasn't that great, so I've ended up taking a little strip off the side. So to do this, I reckon we should just bend over the end just a little bit. I'm afraid it's not exact. No, maybe 2 centimeters. We could fold there. That's it. And then again, nice sharp fold. This is again just trying to get it the right sort of dimensions. So again, you tear off this piece of paper. Do shout if you're needing me to slow down or show anything, but hopefully that should be the right sort of shape. If you're in America or elsewhere where they use letter, I think it's already perfect. So our next step for this, not many steps at all for this, you'll be relieved to know. But it's an interesting one, is we're going to do a diagonal. So from this corner to this corner, it's not a square. So you're going to get this double shape. So again, take your time. And it's a bit weird because it's not a square. If you at all do origami, it feels a bit strange aiming and getting the corners offline. So again, take your time. And fold down. So it should look something like that. Looks a bit odd, but it's all good. We've not got much more to do, believe it or not. This is a very simple plane. So our next step here is we're going to do a little fold at the bottom. So where we folded here. Again, I'll have to show you because words don't work, do they? So I'm just doing a little rim here. This will, I guess, give it some weight, and it will also give it structure, and it will also be something that we can tuck in the end, and so get it to stay in place. So it was down like that, and I just folded up the bottom into a straight line, like that. So turn to the other side. And do the same thing again to match the same height. So I'm going to fold it up so they're all matching. So it was down there and I folded it up. It's matching there. Right, we're almost there. So for our circular plane, we're going to keep this on the inside, the little rim on the inside. So that's something to remember. So maybe if we turn it round, so we've got the smooth side, it's going to go round in a circle. So I'd recommend almost giving it a little bit of a smoothing round, beginning to give it a bit of a circular shape. Quite pleasing to do in your fingers. That's a I've now turned it to the other side, turned it round, and we want to tuck one into the other. Now you'll find somewhere in amongst this little lot of folds, there'll be one where it can be really enclosed, so that's probably the one to aim for. So give it a go, just play around, but you should be able to tuck one into the other. Nothing like doing these things under pressure. I'm not under pressure. This is great fun. It's been really nice to do some live things. And for colleagues in my hospital as well, we can also do live sessions too. So there we go. So hopefully yours has also worked. I would recommend, you can see it's not quite circular, not bad though. But if you keep on working on making it nice and circular. And next, in just a second, I'll have a go at throwing this and showing you how to, because it's not very obvious, is it, how to fly this thing. Okay, I hope that's worked for you. So now you should have a wonderful glider, swallow and circular. Shall we see which works best? But it'll be for you to experiment as well. Yeah, if there's more than one of you at home, then you can also have a few races with this. So in a second, I'm going to turn the camera around and try and show you how these things work, and we'll see whether they do work or not. Here goes. Whoops. Oh dear, my circular one came undone. Yeah. So you could glue or sellotape this, but it's nice to have tried without. There we go, it's slotting quite well. Okay, so I'm going to turn us round. Here we go. Let's see if this works. So the glider is the most obvious and easy, isn't it, to fly? So hold it down here, and tends to be, I think, holding it and swooping up more that way. So, whoops. You saw it disappear, but it will suddenly just catch the air. I'll try and get as far away as possible. Don't know if it's swooped past. Do it one more time. It always flies in a bit of an unpredictable way. If you've made dart planes, they do work very well, very directly. But this has an interesting properties. I don't know if you saw any of that, but experiment with yours. Now the circular one's probably the least obvious how to fly. So if you hold it down there gently between your fingers, between the middle of the sort of crown, and it will either work really well or just plummet. So the idea is to push it forward like that. Here goes. Plummeted a bit. If it gets at the right angle, it will really whiz along, but it is a bit of an all or nothing. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that? It looked like a fly both at once. I'll just do one more. No, I'm probably not good enough at multitasking to do both, but I will just give it one more go. Yeah, that flew quite well. Did you see it really glided along? And that too. So I hope, yay. So I hope it's worked for you. And I would love to see any other plane designs. There will be loads out there, but yeah, what flies best? It's a great piece of origami. So I hope this has given you something that's just lifted your mood for a little bit. It's a great way of doing that origami. And I'll be doing the same thing again on the Friday night. That's more, I guess, for people after work at 8 p.m. And each week, a different fold. Hopefully I'll bring something that will just surprise and give a bit of a change. So I'm doing something different each week. And it's a good way, hopefully, of marking time as well. I should put together a picture of all of the different things that we've been making. And enjoy mastering each one as you go along and having fun with it. So take care, everyone. Keep safe. Keep up your isolation. But at least in this way, we can be together. Thank you.